Leave your comments or concerns at 626-SUCKIT-5.
Now that we got all of that shit out of the way, take it away, fellas.
Let's do this.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Smitty and D Show, streaming live right here on the campus of Cal State Dominguez Hills. It's January 3rd right here on KDHR.net. You're here with me and Daryl, as always, on the ones and twos.
Yes.
And as continuing from the last episode, here we go with a little clip. Our new guest. And he did. Thank you, Shane Ryder, for rejoining us again this week from the Holophonics. Thank you for coming back in again, man.
What's up? Thanks for having me.
Or would you prefer to call you Shaners?
Shane's cool.
We got a lot lined up for you guys today. We got some odd news for you. We got a Twitter game. If you guys want to stay tuned a little later, you can call in at any time. 424-785-0278. Someone's brand new to the radio over here. Let me just take my drink right next to the mic.
That wasn't one of D's sound effects?
No, yeah, that was totally D.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
But yeah, you guys can call in at any time at 424-785-0278 and play the Twitter game. We have a prize today, so make sure you check it out. You want to give some info on the prize?
Yes, we're going to be giving away Bobby Slayton tickets, the Pitbull of comedy. He's going to be performing over at Flappers Comedy in Burbank tomorrow evening, Friday, the 4th, I believe.
Yep.
So definitely come call in at 424-785-0278, and you can try to win tickets. It's going to be really easy. Basically, if you call in, you'll win tickets.
Well, if you're a fan of comedy, first of all, I don't know why you're listening to us.
Yeah.
But second of all, you probably want to go check out the show because Bobby Slayton is one of those guys that's been around a long time, so he's an expert at his craft. He's definitely going to be, no matter what day you go see him, you're going to have a good time.
I mean, he used to headline the Hooters Hotel and Casino in Vegas.
I don't even need, it doesn't even need to be, you could be like Joe Schmo, headline at Hooters. I'm sold. He was around Hooters, I like him.
They let him into their casino? Good enough for me.
They let him gamble? I like this guy.
So, yeah, if you guys want to win tickets, well, we have 2 tickets available. So I guess we can either make a love connection and give away 2 separate, one each to different people, or we could just give away the pair. So either way, just call in, and yeah.
But you gotta play the Twitter game, so stay tuned for that. That'll be coming sometime in the next 2 hours here.
For sure.
But before we get to that, we do have some news. Daryl, what have you been up to this week? Anything fun for you? Anything new? Anything exciting?
No. Well, I mean, I guess I've been performing stand-up on my own. I haven't been getting probably the crowds, or Hooters hasn't been calling me up lately. But
You're not opening for Hooters?
No.
Not yet, at least.
But
Are you at least closing with Hooters?
No. But I have been doing a few gigs. I actually did a couple of gigs last Saturday with Eric Escobar.
Oh, nice.
And
he's a big friend of the Smitty and D Show.
For sure. He's big shout-outs to Eric.
Yeah, he's always out on the comedy circuit, so make sure you guys check him out. Funny guy, always has a good...
In fact, I think he is opening for Bobby, or he might be there at the Flappers tomorrow night. So if you're in the mood to see some Eric...
2 birds with 1 stone right there. You
there
can win
you
these
go.
tickets and see both two awesome comics.
Yeah, so other than that, I mean, I've just been, slowly moving. And
how's that going? Any luck finding a place?
Yeah, I found a place and everything. It's, is not on the exact time schedule as I'd like, because we obviously had the last week off and we were, not working. So I was trying to use that time to move. And, of course, things being life,
was it Murphy's Law? Like anything that can go wrong will go wrong?
Yeah. And
that's
that
pretty much what happened.
You damn you, Murphy, because he's been...
Stop making laws, Murphy. Your law sucks.
Yeah, start making more, like, booby laws or something.
Murphy's Law. Once you see a set of boobs, you have to see them every time they come into the room.
Mm-hmm.
Boobies.
I don't know.
I like that law. Like, you got to flash
That was
every
an
time.
A for effort.
Thanks a lot.
But, yeah, it's, how moving is. It's just a lot of stuff to where you're like, man, why do I even keep this?
Yeah, well, moving is the best way to clean your apartment. That's for sure.
Yep.
That's the best way to do it.
It's like I have so many items in my house that like the only times I actually like come in contact with those items
Is when you move.
is when I move and when I go like it's always when I'm putting it in the box and when I take it out of the
It's
box.
basically only a moving item. Like, I never use this, but this just fits in this box so well.
Yep.
I'm just taking it with me.
It's for the exercise.
Right. And that's the thing with like, at least with me, like when I was a kid, I used to, obviously have a lot of just keepsakes, just a lot of just random stuff that like, obviously it had sentimental value to me, but it was worth nothing. It was like, old movie ticket stubs to like, The Mask.
Right, nice.
And, it's like, oh, that was the first time I went on that date with that girl.
Do you really remember that shit? Because I have a shitload of those movie stubs, and I probably like they all meant something at some point.
Right.
Now I look at them, I'm just like, I went to see a fucking movie.
Yeah.
I don't remember who the fuck it was with. I don't remember what the occasion was.
I don't remember seeing Matrix 2.
Yeah, but I do remember like keeping them for like, oh, this is the first time I went on the date with this girl, or this is the first time I made out in this seat, like, or whatever.
Yep.
But I don't.
You
like,
took the seat with you?
Yeah, I got the seat. I remember making out right here. There's that little gist spot right there.
This is the first couch cushion I ever
But
got
now
head on.
I don't remember who gave me the jerk off that had to happen. Who gave me the hand job that gave me that
I
spot?
remember
don't
that
know.
I got a hand job, just not from who.
Pee Wee Herman, perhaps.
Maybe.
What? Yeah, I was gonna say no, but it's possible.
But yeah, so I mean, I've definitely kind of tried to condense this move. I don't really actually have a lot of stuff, but I have.
helps.
I have tried to find some people to take a few items off my hand because I just want to like the place I'm moving into is a lot smaller than the place I have now. Not
Okay.
necessarily space wise, but just like the living room smaller. So like I have to get a smaller couch and whatnot.
Yeah, you do have a pretty big couch. That's
Yeah,
for sure.
I have definitely a couch that currently that can probably hold like at least 5 or 6 people. And in my new place, I need a couch that can fit like 3 people.
Yeah, at the most.
And
see, the best thing about that limits people coming over too. Like, if you don't want people hanging out too much, if they don't have a place to sit, they don't want to be there that long.
That's kind of like Chipotle's philosophy.
Mm-hmm.
I hate the seats at Chipotle.
It's just they're uncomfortable just enough to make you want to leave quickly.
Yeah.
yeah, well, they don't want you falling asleep there.
Right.
Get into some sort of burrito coma.
Which you do every time you go to Chipotle.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I was trying to get rid of my couch. I've put it up on Craigslist just to like, basically get rid of it. And I put it for like $100 or best offer.
Okay.
And I've gotten 2 offers and their offers are free. They went from like 100 to just free. I'm like, that's not the best
That's not
offer.
an offer. $10 would be
Yeah.
an offer, and it's a little low, but I might even accept that.
Yeah, 0 isn't an offer. That's basically saying I want it.
How about like even a beer? Here, how about I'll give you 2 beers. Like, I might take it for that.
Yeah, I would barter like a set of TV trays for it or something.
Right?
Like,
There's actually a lot of Craigslist flippers out there. When Eric and I were looking for a new fridge for our place in Texas, we needed one with a very specific size because we moved into an older house with
smaller
a small
sizes.
with a small kitchen spot for the fridge. So we needed like an older fridge that was actually that size.
Right.
Anyways,
which is hard to find.
Yeah, we finally found one, and we go to this dude's place. He pops up in the garage, and there's a ton of furniture on there, all with price tags on it. And he was like, all this stuff's for sale. Classy.
yeah, he's classy.
Yeah, so we basically deduced that this guy was just flipping furniture from Craigslist.
It's not. I mean, if I have a guy in my family who is quite a woods worker, like a craftsman.
A woodsman?
I was gonna say that actually. He's quite a craftsman, and he makes a lot of. He like made a wooden train set for my nephew
With craftsman tools?
No craftsman's involved. You're a moron. You're a moron because as soon as you said that, I was like, maybe.
They are pretty nice.
But he makes all that kind of stuff. So I can picture somebody like him taking old wooden furniture and really being able to revamp it and sell it because he'd make it look brand new. But
I don't mind, yeah.
Like, is this guy just like buying it? Like, I'll take that for $2, and then like, I'm selling it to you for $5.
Probably. I mean,
And not doing anything
the
with
guy,
it.
Nothing.
The fridge that I just talked about, the guy told us that he had to fix it up when he got it. Like, so he basically has a shop in his garage where he fixes up stuff.
All right, so he does do work on that stuff.
Yeah.
That's cool. I mean, to me, that's not a bad way to go.
Yeah, if that fridge was all he sold that day, he made $100. That's a living.
Yeah, not a great living, but it's something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
At least he's not living in a refrigerator box.
Yeah.
right?
I know.
Which would be it could be a good living.
I mean,
assuming you assuming you sell, that's a lot of S's.
yeah.
Assuming you sell something like that every day,
Mm-hmm.
obviously
Right.
you're not going to go a month on $100.
No, you need to be flipping a fridge every day.
Hence
Yeah.
his giant garage with a
multiples.
workshop and tons of furniture.
Right, yeah. You guys have a lot going on.
I know. How much do you think really, like, out of all the people that use eBay, are people that are genuinely just wanting to sell something that they don't have or they don't need to have a need for anymore, versus people that just use that service to flip things?
Oh,
like
yeah.
they're
think
in
like
business.
90%.
Yeah.
Very, very small amount. Yeah.
Right.
Man, the beginning days of eBay were awesome because it used to be people actually just selling shit.
A straight up garage sale site.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
now it's like, it's nothing but eBay stores.
Yeah.
Where that's what the guy does is
Yeah.
sell shit on eBay.
Yep, that is true. It's evolved into just another store.
Yep.
But going on to other news, I didn't know where else to go with that. Do you guys have anything else?
Morbid Mike.
Was that morbid?
No.
I guess it could be interpreted.
Oh, I was where you? Yeah. But I was gonna ask you, like, so did you end up ever selling that couch? This was what I was going back
Well,
to.
I haven't sold it yet, but I mean, I do want to at least try to get something before free.
Right.
I mean, yeah, if it's the last day that I'm in my apartment and I still need to get rid of it, then I will say, yeah, free's fine. I just need
not
somebody
even
to
free.
get rid
Just,
of it.
all right, it's on the corner. If you want it, take it.
But I mean, I think, like, yeah, I maybe won't get $100, but $50 is fine with me, or $40 or whatever. Just
But here's the
enough
thing,
to
too,
pay
like,
for the rental or the
Here's
gas.
and I hope nobody's listening that's a possible buyer. But who wants an old couch? Like fucking's been on that couch.
Yeah.
And it's not been you.
But I mean, it's not that bad of a couch. Like, if you bought it for $50 and got it reupholstered for, like, a couple $100, you now have a brand new couch, and you spent basically $200 or $300 on it. If you just bought that couch from Leslie's Furniture or whatever, it would be at least $1,200, maybe even more.
Yeah, but at least $1,200 doesn't have stains on it.
But that's why you get it reupholstered. So you can make the Newcomb stains and you can make your own little scents on it, or you could do it ghetto style and just throw a bed sheet over it.
I totally agree with you, but I just find and this is just my laziness, and I know most people are lazy like me. Like, I'd rather pay the $1,200 to get a new one than to go over to the house and have to drag one out of somebody else's house, bring it to my house, and then drag it to an upholsterer, and then get that upholstered and take it home.
But if
it's
it
more
saves
work.
you $600 or $800,
True. Me, I'm not buying shit. I ain't got no money. I'm just saying, if I had the money, I'd be like, I'll just buy a new and have it delivered to my house.
If I was money bags, yeah, I would be like, well, I still want to save money here.
Well, I just say, I don't picture a lot of people buying a used couch.
Well, maybe I should give it away then.
No. To me, I would try farther. I'd be like, 1,000 or best offer, because you're gonna get that crazy guy that's like, maybe this couch has some fucking gold in it.
Right?
You gotta trick him into it.
It's not like a storage unit where you could just hope that you have a diamond in the rough.
Well, you gotta say there's an unopened box in the middle. You never there's a prize inside, and I never opened it, so you don't know. Maybe it's $1 million. Maybe it's a human head.
What if I
Maybe it's
just
empty.
made up some sort of fake documentation that it used to be owned by Manson or something?
Yes. Give it a lineage. This is the same couch lined as Cleopatra had.
Yeah. Not only has Cleopatra owned it, but Jack the Ripper and Jake Busey.
Jake, nice.
It's gone down from
It's
Cleopatra.
definitely lost some of the lore.
Every owner gets slightly less credible.
It goes
That's
from Jake
why
Busey, and then it goes to Gary Busey. It goes even farther
it
down.
went from Busey to me.
There's a lot of history in that couch.
Yeah, a lot
That's
of
what,
fucking.
that's what you're buying. You're buying history from that couch.
Any bodily fluid, I guess, is considered history on a couch. Maybe.
Yes. Gross.
Yeah.
All right, enough couch talk.
Oh my God.
All right. So,
Well,
what happened with you?
this week I actually adopted a puppy, and I adopted a golden retriever pup, and it's been, I don't know if you guys have dealt with I've had dogs before in the past, and adult dogs I've always rescued.
Sure.
I had a puppy, I remember when I was a kid, but that's your mom and dad basically doing all the work with that one.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the first time I've actually done all the work, and this shit's a pain in the ass, man. I love this little dog, but he is a shit factory and piss factory. And house training, it's not easy. You don't just say, go outside, and they listen. These fucking dogs just don't know English yet, man. They're like immigrants.
What the heck are you guys doing? Trying to ruin my life and make me look like a friggin' idiot?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I adopted this guy, and I think I took him home a little too early.
What type of dog is it? For
Golden-
the listeners.
It's a golden retriever mix. It has some golden retriever, lab, and spaniel. Both parents were retrievers mixed, so it's going to be a good pup, a good sized dog too.
Yeah, it's definitely a cute dog.
He's real pretty. Daryl, he already marked Daryl on the ride home. Daryl went out to we had to go all the way out to Victorville to get this dog.
Yeah.
And on the ride home, which is a long ride for a puppy.
Yeah.
And Daryl got the shit and the piss in the lap, so that was awesome. Made it enjoyable for me.
Both on the lap, separate occasions.
So he loves you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a true friend right there.
Isn't that right? That's a friend for life. That just means he knows he likes Daryl. Daryl is always welcome.
I think he was referring to me as the friend for life.
Yeah.
The one that gets shit on?
Yeah.
Oh.
If I'm willing to get shit on by your dogs, that means I'm
I
sticking
don't think it was
through anything.
willing. I don't think you had a choice in the matter.
Yeah, I could have just put the dog outside.
You were willing to pet my dog, and that's where you made the mistake.
I was thinking about it a good 15 minutes into the ride. I'm like, I bet this dog doesn't have a big bladder.
Nope.
And I was right.
But yeah, so just if you guys get a puppy out there, just be prepared for a lot of fucking work. And puppy pads. Mm-hmm. I know I used to make fun of people who let dogs shit and piss in their house, but when you can't get them to go outside because it's 30 degrees outside, puppy pads come in very fucking handy. So it's like oh my god, my dog sounded like that too. He had the runs, and it straight up was louder than my shits. It was hilarious. Fucking dog shits are nasty.
I can't imagine the cuteness he made after that, though. Yeah, it's a golden retriever puppy.
Yeah.
He just gives you that face oh, I can't be upset. Oh, man, I can be.
Well, those golden retrievers have that, they're the dogs with, the natural smile. When they open their mouth, the mouth curves up, so it looks like they're smiling.
Yes.
So he just takes that dump, and he opens his mouth, and he's like, you like that?
That's how I look when I take a dump.
Do you, rub your feet afterwards, too? Throw some dirt over it?
Yep.
That's what that bag in your bathroom was for?
Yeah, but one last thing about the dog. I felt bad for him. I took him to the vet for his first visit, and he was really good. He was real calm, real quiet. I was holding him. Took him into the vet. Everything's good and fine and dandy. And then the vet stuck a thermometer up his ass, and he wanted out of there like nobody's business. And for the rest of that time there, he was like, "This is the worst fucking place I've ever been in. Get me the fuck out of here." and I was okay until they showed me the bill, and I was like, "All right, this is the worst fucking place. Get me the fuck out of here. I don't want to be here no more."
Yeah, I definitely don't like the veterinarian bills for sure. There are those costs that you don't think about.
There's a cost you don't think about, and the one I went to, they just wanted it all at once. So you could pay it for it individually, and it would cost you $700, $800 for everything, or you could pay $400 up front. But that's a huge lump sum for someone like me, who I'm a part-time worker. I don't have a full-time job, so it's hard for me to work in. Yeah, I'm no Dave Chappelle. I wish I could. But.
Yeah, it's tough, but
so I gotta find the Dr. Nick for veterinarians. Hello, everybody.
I mean, how hard is it really to neuter a dog?
Well,
I thought you just could put some rubber bands around the nuts and they just eventually fall off.
Let's try that with you.
Is that what your grandpa did?
That's what they did with me.
I don't know. It's got to be a set procedure too. So it's not like it's out of the. It's you give the same shot to every dog.
No.
You give the same worms to every dog.
Yeah.
Worm pills. So it's I don't understand where the outrageous price comes from.
It's just basically because it's the same thing with any type of service, like mechanic or whatever. It's in reality not that difficult of a job. It's just you don't do it, so I do it. I'm gonna rape you now.
And it's true. It's like I would have no idea what kind of shots. Where would I even get shots to give my dog? What kind of
Yeah, you can't go on the
I can't
dog
do that
black
stuff myself. How am I gonna do to my own dog? I'm not just going in there with scissors and cutting. He's gonna get anesthesia down there. He's gonna get. I don't want him to feel the nuts coming off.
You need to go search on the black lab market, and then.
That took me a little too long to pick up on that.
And then, but I know it's not, at least for females, it's a little bit more involved. But for males, I swear, I've seen it happen because I used to, my old stepmom was, or is, a veterinarian.
Oh,
and so she, back when I was like 16 or 15 or whatever, we'd, work at her hospital or whatever for the summer and just make some extra cash. Mainly just, cleaning up kennels and whatnot and doing stupid little office stuff. And every now and then she would have me help hold down a dog or prep a dog for like getting neutered, and they seriously just like cut a small slit in the sack, pull out the nuts, hack the nuts up, just do a little quick like bow tie and sew it up. Like it's literally just cutting the balls off. Like there's no like huge like incisions or like crazy like I mean they did it with the dog kind of sedated, but it wasn't even fully asleep. It was basically just like calm enough.
Obviously it's not the same thing, but my dad had a vasectomy.
I'm sure it's probably the same.
And he said it was just an inpatient or outpatient thing where he went in, they didn't put him under.
Yeah,
they just they
cutting my balls off while I watched an episode of.
They numb the area. They cut a little slit. They cut the one little cord and then sew it up, and they're good to go. Obviously, he was uncomfortable for a few days.
Yeah.
But apparently it's not as traumatic as.
Did he get the nudicles?
He got the big like truck ones, so they just
the truck nuts.
By his knees. They were clackers, or clack 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 clack.
Made of brass. Like
I want one with like the dog squeakies in them. So. Everyone knows when I'm scratching my nuts.
when you walk in tight jeans and you just hear this little.
It's like corduroys, but in your nuts. I just want a corduroy set of nuts, so it just goes shh, 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 shh.
I know with there was apparently what's his face, Larry Flint. He had some sort of like early penis procedure done to him or something like that.
When he got shot, was he paralyzed from the waist down?
Yeah.
Okay, so he had to get something just to make it work.
Mm-hmm. So apparently there was like some like thing where they basically turned his dick into a pump where he would literally like pump his nuts.
He would straight up do the Shaq shoe.
Yeah, the Reebok pumps.
Oh, awesome!
Like one ball would like pump it up, and then the other ball would like release the air.
That's crazy.
So
but
he would literally
feel
like.
Anything, so what's the point?
So he could still fuck chicks.
Well, I know, but like you don't feel anything.
He's a man of exquisite passion. He's trying to make the woman.
Believe me, I understand sex and man's drive for sex. But my whole thing is like if you don't feel the dick area at all.
Right.
So how do you even know you're in here? Like, obviously, it's more for her pleasure, not for yours.
Yeah, she knows.
But you're like, wow, that's a lot of work for you to, because you're just sitting there anyway.
Well, he's probably reading,
But I'm like,
maybe a hustler or something.
Thing. Does she know the difference between a pump instead of just put a dildo right there between your legs?
Right.
I guess you know what? He can't feel anyway, so have major surgery. Fucking cut it up. Do something crazy. I can't feel it anyway.
I want it to also light up, and I don't want it just to pump. I want it to vibrate, and
I want it on a clapper.
Yeah.
Hard. Down.
No.
That'd be trouble when you get a standing ovation. It's just All right, this show has gone very blue.
Yeah, for sure.
Sorry, Shane. If anybody's listening in for Shane, we apologize to all his friends and fans.
Mm-hmm. Probably like my mom is the only one we should apologize to. Sorry, Mom.
We apologize, Shane's mother.
We're trying to educate here.
Yeah.
He educated about nudicles or noodles.
Yeah, if you can't pleasure a woman, don't worry. There's things to help you. But I guess moving on to other things of whatnot.
Before we go too far, I just want to let everybody know that I'm going to have to apologize early because I have to leave a little early today, and it's going to be Daryl and Shane sticking around for the second hour.
Yes.
So I'll apologize now, but I did want to try and get to that Twitter game before I go.
We can do it up now for sure.
Do you guys mind maybe throwing that into the mix now?
Yeah, we'll throw it in now, and if anybody out there is listening live, you can call in and try to win tickets to Bobby Slayton performing tomorrow at Flappers Comedy over in Burbank. So at any time, definitely hit us up at 424-785-0278 or use Skype at username KDHR. But until then, let's play it with the three of us. Smitty and Shane will, I guess, be playing.
Smitty versus Shane.
Let's do it.
Epic match style.
Can I talk right now?
Yeah. Once again, it's time for the Twitter game on the Smitty and D Show. The game is simple. We read celebrity tweets and you try to guess them. Only on the Smitty and D Show. All right. So, like the intro said, we'll start off with some celebrity tweets. If you guys know what it is, you can obviously guess. But if you don't know, I have multiple choice answers, so you can guess from those as well. So let's get it started.
Did you get all that?
Yeah.
All right.
Alrighty then. So here is the music. Where is that music?
Music. The one we just played?
No.
Oh, the match game.
All right, here is the first question, or tweet, I should say. Out of all the utensils invented to eat rice with, how did two sticks win?
Oh, okay. At first, I really thought this was a trivia question. I forgot we were playing Twitter. I'm like, what? What's the answer to that?
I don't know. Why did they use two sticks?
Riddle me this.
So, have any guesses of...
Can I get the tweet one more time?
Yes. It is,
Quote.
out of all of the utensils invented to eat rice with, how did two sticks win?
Oh, man.
So, you guys want multiple choice?
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind multiple choice.
Yeah,
All right.
I have no guess, honestly. I have nothing.
It comes from either Will Ferrell, Adam Scott, or Dax Shepard.
I gotta be honest. I don't know who Adam Scott is.
I don't know who Dax Shepard is.
Dax Shepard is. I know he's been on.
He's on Parenthood. He's been in a few movies.
He used to be part of the Punk'd crew.
Yes.
Remember that show Ashton Kutcher had that Punk'd prank show? He used to be part of that crew.
Okay.
But he's an actor. He's been around a little bit. Who's the Adam Scott? You guys know that one?
Adam Scott was on Party Down, and he's also on Parks and Rec.
That guy is actually really damn funny, but I always forget his name.
Yes. So he plays Ben on Parks and Rec.
Yeah, Amy, the lead's love interest.
Yes, exactly.
All right, Shane, as a guest, you can take your first guess.
Well, I don't think that's Will Ferrell's kind of style.
All right.
So my
It's not
guess,
abstract enough.
my guess goes to Dax Shepard.
Going with Dax. All right, I'm gonna go with Adam
All right.
because I just figured out who he was.
The answer is Will Ferrell.
Oh!
Goose egg for each of
Wow,
you.
Man.
and we both had like legitimate
Right?
reason. Like, oh no, that's way too normal for Will Ferrell. That's awesome.
Yeah, so out of the gate, really good, both of you starting off.
All right, before we go too much farther, as you guys can see, Shane and I are going to be awesome at this game. So this is a good chance for you to win some tickets to see
Bobby Slayton
at Flappers tomorrow night. So hit us up at 424-785-0278 or call us on Skype using KDHR.
Call on in.
Yes, anytime, call in. And who knows, you might just be a winner for calling in.
All right, we're moving on to question number 2.
Number 2.
Or tweet 2, I should say.
Big goose eggs for both of us.
Here is number 2. Apocalypse is over. Fiscal cliff is near resolution. How will the news scare the shit out of people next? My vote's Y2K13 or sentient herpes.
That one scares me.
So it's either from Will Wheaton, Chris Hardwick, or Brian Posehn.
Son of a bitch.
I'm going with Wheaton.
Why do you always pick like 3 people who are all so close to each other? They're all nerds and funny.
That's the part of the game.
Why you gotta make this game tough, D?
Be the game, yeah.
All right, who'd you go with?
Will Wheaton.
Will Wheaton.
Wheaton.
And what were my other 2 choices?
Chris Hardwick or Brian Posehn.
I want to say Posehn, but I feel like it's Hardwick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to stick with Hardwick. I want to say Posehn just because it feels like something nerdy that he would go with, but it feels too hyper that Chris Hardwick would actually be the one that says it.
All right, and you saying Wheaton?
Yep.
Chris Hardwick. The answer is Chris Hardwick.
Woo-hoo-hoo!
All right.
All right.
An early lead.
So Smitty is on the board with 1. Shane is still in the cellar with 0.
Oh, Shane, are you getting scared?
Nope.
I wouldn't be either. There's a lot of game left.
Yeah, we have 8 questions, so 5 left. So there's plenty of time to win, as well as, obviously, if you know any Smitty and D Show
Don't give
game,
away the secret, D.
the last question's worth $1 million points.
Oh, you just ruined it all.
Or should we say now it's worth a Googleplex?
A Googleplex, there you
It's
go.
worth $1 million.
Yeah.
1 million Googleplexes.
I'd rather have 1 million Googleplexes.
Gosh, we talked about this last time.
Googleplex is the one with 100 zeros after it.
Oh, wow.
to the 100th.
To the 100th power.
Yeah.
So it's a ridiculously large number.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So question number
It's not
3,
it's not infinity.
but it's
it's
close
big, but it's
too.
big.
Pretty darn close.
Yeah. Here is the next tweet. Nice time of year to compliment your gal or guy. If out of compliments, you can always try something like, I love the shape of your head.
Bald guys get that a lot, don't they?
Mm-hmm. I get that compliment all the time. I like your shape. I like your baldness.
And that's just with your pants off.
Yeah.
Ayo.
And then I said, my eyes are up here, ladies. All right. So the answers are either Dave Coulier, Bob Saget, or John Stamos. It's a full house question.
No shit. That's awesome.
So who went
Cut
bald?
it out.
Nobody went bald.
No, they all have hair.
They do all have hair.
Okay. I don't think
can
that
I-
would be Bob Saget
Can I
because
quote one more time?
Yeah.
Just so we can have a...
Yes, the tweet is, nice time of year to compliment your gal or guy. If out of compliments, you can always try something like, I love the shape of your head.
all right, that's not Bob Saget. It's not
There's no fucks in it.
yeah.
It's not vulgar enough.
It's not vulgar enough. That's the word I was looking
I
for.
like the shape of your labia.
Speaking of Bob Saget though, if you ever have the chance to see him live stand up, go.
Dude, he's
Yeah.
fucking hilarious.
Yes.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe he says something like that. You know, tell him I like the shape of your head, and then tell him to take their hat off. You know, like I can see Bob Saget doing something like that. A little innuendo, a little who's your daddy, a little loopy loop, a little.
I got it. So you guys going for Saget or what?
No. Oh gosh.
I'm going with Saget.
Okay, Smitty got Saget. Coulier or Stamos?
Coulier.
All right.
Coulier, cut it out.
He is definitely clean. I think his stand-up is like...
Is he still doing stand-up?
He does. Yeah, he performs at the Comedy Magic Club a lot.
I'd like to go see him.
In Hermosa?
Mm-hmm.
Oh no way. Mm-hmm. I saw Tosh O there once.
Nice.
We had to get there.
Tosh O or Daniel Tosh?
Daniel Tosh. I went with my sister, her husband,
Yeah, it's a good
and
club.
some of their friends, and we actually got there at like noon, and put our name on a list.
Nice.
And then we went back at like 8 or 7:30, and there was this massive line, like people trying to get tickets, like around the corner down the street status. And this guy with a piece of paper comes walking, Reader, Shane Reader. And they
Shaner?
finally get to us. I'm like, yes, that's us.
Sweet. We
And
won the lottery.
everybody, oh my God. The stink eyes we were getting, as we walked from the back of the line to the front door were just, oh my God, it was priceless.
Yeah.
Nice.
What nobody realizes is like, hey, we already fucking paid for
Yeah,
our tickets, but you know, cool. We're cutting in line.
Yeah, no, we actually didn't pay for them. We were we just were on a list, and
nice.
they do that kind of thing, and yeah,
Random. That's awesome.
Or I think we put a deposit down. I don't know. Anyways, on with the
Blew
game.
some hostess somewhere. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you slipped him a Finsky. I get it. All right, the answer to this tweet is Bob Saget.
Oh my goodness. That is twice that I was like, I don't think it was that guy because of this. And I end up being wrong.
This Twitter game is fucking tough because it's just one line quote. It's not like their like a lot of times you can feel their rhythm for their stand-up style, but sometimes it's tough, man. All right, what's the next question?
Here is tweet number 4. I have diarrhea. Not me personally. I bought some off eBay, and I'm carrying it around in a goblet.
Gross.
Hashtag first mediocre shit joke of 2013. Hashtag Gandalf.
Why?
Gandalf?
Just because the goblet bit?
I thought you threw that in.
No, that's in the tweet.
The goblet?
Ian McShane, isn't that the guy's name? Isn't that the guy who plays Gandalf?
Yes.
It wasn't him, right?
No.
Because if he hashtagged himself, that'd be awesome. Hashtag Gandalf, bitches, drop mic.
Oh, man. So, you guys need the multiple choice?
Please.
I'm Magneto and Gandalf, bitches. What?
And I'm gay.
So I'm going to hold on to the stick.
Yeah. So I love cock.
Sweet Jesus. All right. Well, can we get what's the quote again?
All right.
Before we get the names.
I have diarrhea. Not me personally. I bought some off of eBay, and I'm carrying it around in a goblet.
See, that sounds like Will Ferrell right there.
Nope, it's not Will Ferrell.
All right, what are the choices?
I don't care. I'm voting for Will Ferrell.
Yeah.
All right. The choices are Nick Swartzen, Doug Stanhope, or Andy Dick.
Damn it, Daryl. You always make 3 difficult choices.
Okay, I have no idea, but my first instinct was, it can't be Andy Dick. But
Right.
since that was my first instinct, I'm going with Andy Dick.
All right.
What were the 2 hashtags?
Hashtag first mediocre shit joke of 2013. Hashtag Gandalf.
I'm going Swartzen on this one.
Wait, is
All
Andy
right.
Dick even still alive?
He is.
Okay.
I'm going Swartzen because Swartzen is all about, like, I don't know. He has some good jokes, but a lot of his jokes are because they are so bad, they're funny. Like,
Right.
Really, you consider that a joke? So that's what I'm going to go with this one. You're carrying around a bag of diarrhea.
Yep.
That's a joke. All right. That's Nick Swartzen. Gay robot. Okay, that's a joke. Okay.
All right. So the answer is Nick Swartzen.
Oh shit, son! I'm on my comedian run right now.
Was that in 3 in a row?
That's 2 in a
3.
row.
That's 3.
Oh yeah, that's
Trips.
3. Yeah, 3
You're
in a row.
on fire.
I'm in fuego.
3
En fuego.
to nothing so far.
Either I know my comedians, or I'm just fucking having a lucky day, or Daryl told me the answers.
All right, here's a good one-liner.
I want to win these improv tickets, man. I'm serious about this game.
Here's a good next tweet, and it's a great one-liner. Why do bicycles fall over? Because they are too tired.
Wow.
I think my dad said that.
I say my nephew,
Yeah,
my 7-year-old nephew, maybe.
I think a popsicle stick said that.
Otter Pops. Do they say that?
Yep. So that's that tweet. It is either from Stephen Wright, Dimitri Martin, or Gilbert Gottfried. All 3 good one-liner comics.
Okay, I'm gonna explain why I think it's Dimitri.
Okay.
Because he's not that funny. No, because he's a very dry pan comedian.
Yeah,
Where
he's
He's
dry.
actually really funny. I like his show a lot. But he's
Sure.
very more of that dry, almost a British style where it's like you have to think about it and be like, all right, that's just absurd.
Haha.
Yeah.
You laugh in your head, not out loud.
With him, yes, absolutely.
I'm jumping ship on this one. I'm going with Smitty.
You gonna follow my lead?
All right, Dimitri.
Can I do that?
Absolutely.
Okay, I'm doing that.
So you're both for Dimitri
What were the
Martin,
other 2 choices?
Stephen Wright, or Gilbert Gottfried.
Those guys are just too like those guys are legends.
Yeah.
That obviously they'll go with shit jokes because I've watched plenty of Gilbert Gottfried and he'll say some shit jokes.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna stick with Dimitri.
All right. One more time for the audience. Why do bicycles fall over? Because they are too tired. Heyo. And that
Daryl Williams.
you're both going Dimitri Martin, right?
I don't like the way you're saying that.
No, I'm just wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. The answer is Gilbert Gottfried.
Are you? I felt it too. I even explained it. He gives shit jokes, and I knew it.
Yep.
Oh man, he's famous for doing. He's the one that did the. It was like a week after 9/11.
Yes.
He went up in a crowd and he did the aristocrats joke.
Yes.
Do you know what the aristocrats joke is?
Yes.
You've seen the documentary or have heard of it already. So you know of that story. Ever since I heard about that, Gilbert Gottfried has gotten like a million more cool points in my book. Like he had the balls to do that kind of joke when everyone's like doesn't even want to fucking laugh.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
It's definitely a good time to do that joke.
It's like the only time that you probably could and like get away with it.
Yeah, no shit.
Where did he do this joke?
What was
It was like at a Friars Club roast or something like that.
That was a big event.
Mm-hmm.
But
All right.
I don't know for sure. It was like you said, like Friars Club or something.
So,
All right, so we both lost that one.
moving on. We got 3 more tweets.
All right, here we go.
So
Come
plenty
on,
of
Shane, you gotta pick it up.
Yeah.
I need some help from a caller.
Come on, callers, call in.
All right.
424-785-0278. Do it now. Do it proud and win tickets to Flappers now. I don't know. I tried to make it rhyme. It
Yep.
wasn't working.
That kind of worked.
Do it now. Do it proud. Win tickets to the Flappers.
Yep. Sounds good.
It's a parade chant.
Yeah, really. I get it.
Best parade chant ever. What do we want? Time travel. When do we want it? Irrelevant.
Yeah.
Irrelevant.
Yesterday. All right. So here is the 6th tweet. I think even Longoria is stalking me. Just caught her staring at me as I crouch inside her hedges.
I don't know who she's dating.
I hope the guys that she's dating doesn't have to be in the bushes. All right. So the
I got
tweets.
nothing on this one. I don't
It
have
could
a
be
guess.
from either Seth Meyers, Conan O'Brien, or Jimmy Fallon.
I'm going Jimmy Fallon.
I got really silent for a second.
All right,
my
Jimmy
brain
Fallon
started
it
hurting.
is.
I was thinking of that one. You going Jimmy Fallon?
Yeah.
You know what? I'll go with Conan.
All right.
Just because it feels like a late night joke for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously Seth Meyers is late night with SNL, but this. I feel more late night Conan
Well,
O'Brien. or
I'm
Fallon.
going Fallon because I think Conan's a better monologuer than Fallon.
Sure.
And Fallon, I mean,
He's a better
let
tweeter.
me preface this with I love Jimmy Fallon late night. I think it's really awesome. Got off to a slow start, definitely, but now that they've kind of found their groove, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, it's a good
but
show.
there was definitely times where he'd tell a joke and it was just crickets in the audience, like
Well-
nobody was laughing.
Not to give him too much, just to pat his back a little bit. Like the guy's not a comedian.
Yeah.
You know, like he got the job. Like I remember him on K-Rock on Kevin and Bean in the morning all the time, doing like voiceover stuff, and he was a really funny guy.
You mean Kimmel?
Oh, we said Fallon. Huh? I'm
Yeah.
totally off.
Fallon.
I'm an idiot. Never mind. Shut up.
Wrong
Smitty.
Jimmy.
Wrong Jimmy. Yeah, so Fallon, he's funny.
No, but you're right.
No,
He's-
but
he's-
I have to agree though, because he did get off to a slow start, but his show is fucking hilarious, and he has the best band ever for a show. The Roots
Yeah, The
is
Roots.
amazing.
Yeah,
I love the Roots.
Yeah, they definitely got a huge grab on that. So, who are you going with? Conan O'Brien?
I'm still gonna stick with O'Brien
And Jimmy
You're
Fallon.
going with Fallon, but now that I know it's Fallon and not Kimmel, I actually can see it a little more.
All right, the answer is blah, blah, blah. Conan O'Brien.
Man,
Smitty is working the table with this game. But Shane, don't worry. The last question, worth the Googleplex.
okay.
Daryl,
So-
you need to stop giving me the answers before the show.
Or is it worth Google's Plex?
Hey-o! Whose Plex do you want to Google?
All right, we got two more tweets. Of course, the last one.
I'll Google that Plex.
Hey-o!
Last one is
Did you hear
with
that, Tina?
Googleplex. Yeah. Oh, man.
Sorry, Dale. We're trying to screw up your rhythm here. Keep going.
All right. Went to the mall today, and they already have their Christmas stuff up.
Oh, I hate that.
This is getting ridiculous. It's a year away. So, this is either from Paul Scheer, Michael Ian Black, or Nick Kroll.
Okay, I'm not sure who any of those guys are.
Paul Scheer and Nick Kroll are both on the League.
Oh, okay.
And Michael Ian Black was part of a comedy troupe called Stella. He's been on a bunch of other, I love the 80s shows and whatnot.
Okay.
What was that one where it was Michael Showalter and him?
Human Giant or something like that.
It was a TV show where they were both working at the same place. Like it was Showalter and what?
Right, like
Mike and Mike.
Right.
It was a show that they had for a little. Hey, he's a comedian. He's been around for a little while.
Okay.
It's kind of a dry comedian as well.
All right, can I hear the
The tweet again is, went to the mall today. They already have all their Christmas stuff up. This is getting ridiculous. It's a year away.
All right, honestly, I have no good guess, but a real guess, and that's gonna be the Paul, just because.
Paul Scheer?
Yeah, I want Paul Scheer, but I really have no explanation as to why.
Just
I don't know his style well enough.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat where I only know Michael Ian Black, his comedy style, and he's a little more pretentious style where it's always about him jokes, where it's not really about it always has to do with him because he's the ego, and that's his character. He's always about ego.
Right.
But so that's why I'm staying away from Ian Black.
All right.
But I don't. Between the other two, I'm just taking a guess.
Shane?
That was my Who Wants to Be a Millionaire type explanation for my answer, in case you guys were wondering.
Thanks.
Gotta milk it, Smitty. We gotta fill in a time slot here.
I'll go with whoever was A.
That's Paul Scheer as well.
Okay.
All right,
you guys
you're
are
gonna go
going-
with Sheer? Then I'll go with the opposite, so one of us will get a point, one of us
Ooh,
won't.
this just got interesting.
Yeah, man.
Are you gonna? I mean, last time I did this, you were wrong. I think that was the only wrong answer you've given was the one I was like, I'm going with Smitty.
So
well, I mean, I just said A because I'm not, I don't know the
all right,
answer.
I'll go with Nick Kroll then.
All right. So
No, I'll go with Nick Kroll.
All right, then I'll go with Paul.
Smitty went through that whole shebang about why he's going with,
So you go Nick Kroll.
Sure.
You go Paul
I'll
Scheer.
go with Paul.
The
If it turns out Paul, you're gonna
is-
kick yourself, Shane.
Kick yourself, Shane, because it's Paul Scheer.
Son of a bitch.
Man,
That's hilarious.
I was not put on this earth to play the Twitter game.
No, you do not know the sensibilities of celebrities out there.
I guess not.
Or you just don't know Daryl's sensibility of question making.
Yeah. I know how to fool Shane. That's it.
That's what we just call this game. It's
Oh,
Trick Shane.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, if that is the case, you have to put the Shane music back on.
All right, here's the last tweet worth a Googleplex. So Shane, you can pull this one out.
All right.
For all the marbles.
Here is the last one. Vanilla scented candles open up a door in my mind that leads to a room filled with vanilla scented candles.
Stupid.
Hashtag gentle tweets.
I don't know what these hashtags are about, but I like them. I don't know why.
So again,
I definitely need some multiple choice. I have no clue. This is not like ringing any bells.
vanilla scented candles open up a door into my mind that leads to a room filled with vanilla scented candles. That is either from Weird Al Yankovic, Albert Brooks, or Patton Oswalt.
Oh shit!
I'm going with Weird Al. Weird Al.
Quick.
That was a quick one, yeah.
I can just see Weird Al imagining that.
Yeah, I can see that too, actually.
And I'm not a huge Patton Oswalt fan.
Right.
Even though I've actually seen him live on Conan. And
Really?
I was at Conan when he was on the show.
Nice.
That was fun.
Did you enjoy that stand-up? Of his?
He actually wasn't doing a stand-up routine.
Oh, he was just
He was a guest.
yeah.
I forget. I can't remember what he was there for.
What's that movie with him and
Big fan or
no? Charlize Theron. He just
that's right. That middle-aged
grown up
girl
or growing up. Or
yeah, something like that.
It was 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh, that's been a little while then. Who knows then? But that maybe Ratatouille.
There you go.
Maybe.
But anyway, I like Patton Oswalt. He was in that Comedian of Comedies documentary video with him, Brian Posehn, Zach Galifianakis, and I always forget the girl's name. But that comedy documentary, it's an hour and a half or whatever, hilarious. Totally worth watching.
Definitely.
What's it called?
Comedians of Comedy.
Okay.
It's supposed to be like their rip on Kings of Comedy.
Right.
The comedians. Anyway.
It's on Netflix.
So it was Patton Oswalt, and who was the other one besides Wood Al?
Albert Brooks.
I want to say Patton.
Okay. And you're saying Weird Al?
Yep.
The answer for the Googleplex is Patton Oswalt.
Oh,
I
man.
went fucking undefeated.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
But not perfect.
No, I'm never perfect.
You missed the first
I didn't miss
question.
one. I missed 2, I think.
2?
Altogether.
Okay.
Because I only got 6 of them all together. There
Still,
was 8.
compared to me, very impressive.
Good game, sir. Good game. Well competed.
Yes.
So, whoever wants to be nice to me might be able to go to Flappers with me. So
Tomorrow?
Yeah, maybe.
Oh, man, I have plans tomorrow.
Maybe. Well, on that note, everybody, I got to give myself a sign off. But Shane, thank you so much for coming in again. Whenever you're in town, we really love having you on.
Thank you.
Next time you come back, we definitely make plans to come on again.
My pleasure. And next time I'm back in town, I'll probably have some new kind of music or something to promote.
Hell yeah, man. We always appreciate new music, and we know you got a lot of talent, so you always come up with stuff.
Cool.
But Daryl, thank you for holding on to the show for me, and big thanks to all you guys for staying tuned. Stay tuned for one more hour with Smitty and D Show. I'm signing off like it's a commercial here.
Yeah, we're gonna go to a quick music break, so you can shuffle on out, and we can maybe take a little pee break. But we'll obviously be coming back, me and Shane, with a lot more news stories and just odd whatever.
Yeah.
So if you guys missed the Twitter game and you're just now tuning in, stay tuned or call in after the music break, and you can win some tickets still.
And all you guys that just don't listen because of me, you got D and Shane now, so make sure you tune in and listen to them. Shane, don't take over my job.
All right.
Can't make any promises.
All right, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. Thank you for listening.
Can you
to
do
this
your
video.
thing, even though it's not the end of the show?
My sign out?
Yeah.
I'll do my sign out. All right,
Yeah,
everybody.
cool.
Be good. Be nice. Kick it. Flip it. And always, always do it twice.
Cool.
Chowda.
Thanks.
Stay tuned for a whole lot more, guys.
That was for you, Shane.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Nah, walk into the club like, what up? I got a big cock. I'm just pumped. I bought some shit from a thrift shop. Ice on the fringe is so damn frosty. The people like,
Damn, that's a cold ass honky.
rolling in hella deep, headed to the mezzanine. Dressed in all pink, set my gator shoes. Those are green, draped in a leopard mink. Girl standing next to me. Probably should have washed this. Smells like R. Kelly sheets. But shit, it was 99 cents. I get copping it, washing it. About to go and get some compliments. Passing up on those moccasins. Someone else has been walking in by me and grungy fucking man. I am stunting and flossing and saving my money. And I'm hella happy that's a bargain, bitch. I'ma take your grandpa style. I'ma take your grandpa style. No, for real. Ask your grandpa, can I have his hand-me-down? Velour jumpsuit and some house slippers. Dookie brown leather jacket that I found. Dig it. They had a broken keyboard. I bought a broken keyboard. I bought a ski blanket. Then I bought a kneeboard. Hello, my ace man, my mellow. John Wayne ain't got nothing on my fringe game, hell no. I could take some pro wings, make them cool, sell those. The sneakerheads will be like, he got the Velcro.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. awesome.
What she know about rocking the wolf on your noggin? What she knowin' about wearing a fur fox skin? I'm digging, I'm searching right through that luggage. One man's trash, that's another man's come up. Thank your granddad for donating that plaid button up shirt. Cause right now I'm up in her skirt. I'm at the Goodwill, you can find me in the I'm not stuck on searching in the section. Your grandma, your auntie, your mama, your mammy. I'll take those flannel zebra jammies secondhand and rock that motherfucker. The built-in onesie with the socks on that motherfucker. I hit the party and they stop in that motherfucker. They be like, oh, that Gucci, that's hella tight. I'm like, yo, that's $50 for a t-shirt. Limited edition, let's do some simple edition. $50 for a t-shirt, that's just some ignorant bitch. I call that getting swindled and pimped. I call that getting tricked by business. That shirt's hella dope. And having the same one as 6 other people in this club is a hella don't. Peep gang, come take a look through my telescope. Tryna get girls from a brand, man, you hella won't. Man, you hella won't.
Goodwill. Poppin' tags. Yeah.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome. I'll wear your granddad's clothes. I look incredible. I'm in this big ass coat from that thrift shop down the road. I'll wear your granddad's clothes.
Damn right.
I look incredible.
Hey, come on, man.
I'm in this big ass coat from that thrift shop down the road. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
Is that your grandma's coat?
You can learn a lot from the Smitty and D Show. Here's just one.
Yeah, the last thing I learned was she should have had a Blumpkin.
She should have had a Blumpkin.
Don't you feel better now that you've learned something? Stay tuned for more Smitty and D Show right here on KDHR.
Sewn up, Rux pin grown up, tired of baloney, but her shoulder got me cold cut. Mold broken bowl, but never outsold. We've been through it all before, but at no point are we giving up. She let me a sliver up, knowing I can't give her up. I gave like a slave, and she took till I was used up. Confused, bruised, and abused, but I came back when she called, cause I ran out of giving fucks. So now I'm out of luck. And I find time to rewind sometimes. We make the same mistake every damn time. I find time to rewind most times. We make the same mistake so many damn times. I find time to rewind sometimes. We make the same mistake more than one time. I find time to remind my eyes of the pain I seen. The look in her eyes when she telling those lies. Fly far and move fast. No telling where it takes you when you running from your past. Living in the minimum majority of the time. She would stay up in my linen. Sometimes I tried to lie and say I wasn't really feeling something. When she tried to give it to me, I put it down like it wasn't really killing me. Inside I wrote down my lines. She crept up behind and wept on, crying about that one time her pops and one time had a scuffle with each other. And lit a cigarette to switch it quicker than a shuffle. Put it out on my chest, laid to rest the best made plans. A man who took many a test from the start. A tat on her chest, a gun labeled love pointed at her heart. And I find time to rewind all the time. We make the same mistake every damn time. I find time to rewind most times. We make the same mistake so many damn times. I find time to rewind sometimes. We make the same mistake every damn time. I find time to remind my eyes of the pain I seen. The look in her eyes when she telling those lies. Fly far and move fast. No telling where it takes you when you running from your past. respect, I guess I let it mislead me a bit. Came to the conclusion that she's nothing but a bit of a distraction. We was lacking traction, pedal to the metal, but seem to be moving back some. Floor full of flower petals, bottle full of wine. Clock ticking fast, it's about that time. Hoping we remove her mask. Maybe we get past her past. Hoping I remove my mask. Maybe we get past our past, but we can't. Now it seems all we can do is fight. And I tried, but I can't get it right. But I guess that this is better. I just don't want to regret her anymore. Oh, anymore. Sometimes I can swear that it never ends.
All right, this is the Smitty and D Show, of course. I am D, filling in for myself and Smitty, who had to take off a little early, but obviously I am here with Shane still from the Holophonics.
What's up?
And also, if you guys wanted to know more about the music we played, obviously the first track was Macklemore and Ryan Lewis, Thrift Shop, and the second song was The Boombox, She Got Me, which is a pretty sweet band.
Yeah, they're actually another band from the Holophonic Records family.
Nice.
I actually don't play in that one, which, man, the guys in that band are fantastic. That's real talent mixed with really awesome songwriting. The Boombox, spelled Boombach, like Johann Sebastian Bach.
Yes, and I definitely check them out. You can check them out on YouTube or
Bandcamp.
Bandcamp, of course.
You can buy their EP for really cheap on Bandcamp. 5 songs, 5 tracks. They're all awesome.
Mm-hmm. So, do it and tell a million friends to do it as well. Because we always love to promote good music as well as up-and-comers and things like that. Everybody needs a little slice of the pie when it comes to living and successfulness. So anyway, let's, I guess, move on to some odd news stories. And here we go on that.
Coming to you live from the Smitty and D Show, this is Odd Topics.
All right, the first story I was going to bring up was about an interesting fellow. Here it is. A pilot in Florida, obviously the nation's wing, ended up spotting a theft from his own home from his airplane while he was flying.
Wow.
Yes.
Is he sure that wasn't some guy sneaking out after sleeping with his wife?
It could be. He was stealing something.
Yep.
Stealing some punani.
Yep.
But the pilot, David Zechner, was returning home from the Glades County, Florida, on Sunday to his Cessna 182, and decided to fly over his home in LaBelle when he noticed an unfamiliar truck in his driveway. Zechner told WBBH he hovered over his home for nearly 10 minutes watching a man try to break into his house. And, it's interesting that I didn't know that Cessnas could fly that low.
Wait, hold on. What is a Cessna?
It's basically like a single prop, like 2-man, usually plane. Like they're usually basically the smallest plane that you can fly.
Oh, okay.
By yourself or by, it's basically just you and 2 other seats.
Right.
And, usually most of those plane crashes that you hear about are involving Cessnas because it's a small, squirrely plane. And, so anyway, there's an interesting thing. Like, I don't understand how this guy could, like, even though he sees his house being robbed, what is he going to do? Like, literally, like, fly and follow this guy to the, place that he steals his goods from? And
well,
then,
can't he call the cops from his plane?
I don't know. I don't know if he gets much cell service.
Phone it into the air station and have them call the cops?
According to Zechner, he flew closer, dropping the plane to 300 feet, and saw the man attaching Zechner's red trailer to his truck and pulling out of the driveway.
What? 300 feet is really low.
Yeah.
For over a neighborhood?
Mm-hmm.
Man.
The pilot then called the Glades County Sheriff's Office from the air and continued following the thief as he drove the truck and attached trailer down the road.
All right, so did he catch him? Did he see where he went?
Let's see. The gentleman had a plane and several points circling him at close altitude and never thought, I guess there's somebody might be watching us. Because it would be a little weird seeing a plane that's like only 300 feet above you.
Following you.
Yeah.
I'd be concerned.
I would be a little paranoid, but I mean, I guess maybe not. I guess you're not really thinking, well, that guy that's flying that plane obviously is the guy I stole from.
This is turning into like a Tom Cruise action-packed film.
Mm-hmm. And authorities located the thief on Interstate 75 heading into Charlotte, according to WBBH. And Charlotte County Sheriff's deputies arrested him after a traffic stop. And, he ended up getting his stuff back and being a hero, I guess, for his own stuff.
Cool.
Which it's interesting because, it's your own stuff, and obviously you have a vested interest in getting your stuff back and whatnot. But if you're literally doing the cop's job, and basically all they're doing is getting a phone call saying, oh, arrest this guy, I mean, you should get a little bit of that cop's salary. Because you're doing his job for him. All he's doing is doing the arresting part. How hard is that?
Yeah. I mean, but go with that guy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I think that's a pretty cool scenario.
Yeah. And I guarantee you he probably didn't steal that much. It was probably like an old Zenith tube TV and like an alligator.
Yeah.
But apparently, the accused robber, Gary Roberts Haynes, 39, was arrested for grand theft and taken into Charlotte County Jail. And so it's an interesting story. And also, I like how I'm always fascinated with people doing their own legwork. Like I've had to do the similar situations with my own stuff where, and it always goes to anything robbery related. Like you basically have to do all of your own work. Like the police department, for the most part, is not in business to go find your stuff for you. Mm-hmm. Like they'll take down the report that you got your shit stolen.
Right.
But they're not going to put men on the street going like, we need to find this guy's TV.
Right.
No, it's like, well, sucks to be you. But if you do the work, if you go out and, do your own sleuthing and catch the guy or find out who stole your shit, you now have to call up the police and have them do basically the last little bit of actual, justice where the cops actually, go and arrest him. Because that's the weird thing. Like they want you to do all of the investigating and crime solving. But if you went over to that guy and just said, hey, I know you got my stuff, give it back or else, that would now illegal because now you're threatening this dude to have your stuff being, brought back to you. If you don't get the cops involved, now you're the one that's like going to jail because you wanted to try to get your stuff back.
Mm-hmm. Just saw Django last night. If you haven't seen it, it's about some bounty hunters.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool because they basically have these wanted dead or alive posters.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And that's a legitimate reason, they can just go around and kill people for money. Like, oh, this guy's wanted $5,000. All right, I'll go kill him.
Yeah,
and they go around shooting people and turning in their bodies for cash.
This piece of paper says I can kill people.
Yeah.
I love how basically all of our society for the last, like, since its birth has been based on pieces of paper. You know, like, if you have a piece of paper that says basically anything that you want, it's now suddenly a binding thing. It's
okay.
Yeah.
Right?
But if you had no paper, they'd be like, go fuck yourself. You don't own nothing.
I know. It seems really silly. Like, it seems like I could just print out a search warrant,
Mm-hmm.
you know, walk down the street.
Yeah, in the day.
Wearing a suit. Okay, I have this search warrant. Let's see what you got here.
Yeah, like when in the age of, you know, Photoshop and all these types of, like, you know, different computer programs, it would be quite easy to basically make anything that you want, document-wise, and then just go, start using it.
And I'm sure, like, the official papers, the official stuff has all this kind of watermarks and seals. I'm sure that's all there.
Yeah.
But when you're Joe Schmo and some guy shows up at your house with a search warrant or something, are you gonna have the tools to tell if that's a real? Do you have, like, the $500 light bulb that you need to see the watermark?
Yeah, and how many times have you been across a search warrant to begin with? Like, you don't know what it looks like.
Right. If some guy showed up at my door, I don't even know what that.
Yeah.
What does a search warrant look like?
As long as it's not written on a napkin, I'm pretty much thinking it's legit. So it's like, as long as you get it on an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, you could pretty much get anything you want.
A fantastic lesson I learned once was that if you look like you're supposed to be doing what you're doing, you can get away with a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And ironically, I think I learned that lesson on... I don't know if I should say this. I think I learned that lesson on the CSU Dominguez Hills campus. I went to a I went to a soccer game with a friend of mine who was way into the LA Chivas.
Right.
And I was driving because he said he had an extra ticket. So I was like, okay, I'll drive. And he's like, okay, see that parking girl right over there? Just drive right by her.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And I was like, dude, are you serious? Like that's who's taking the money. He's like, yeah, it's fine. Just if you just keep going and don't stop, you'll be totally fine.
Oh, it's totally that. I mean, yeah. Especially if you just wave them. If you just wave at them, they seem to go like, well, he must know what he's doing. He waved at me.
He's supposed to be doing that.
And what are they gonna do? Jump in front of your car and make you pay? No.
Yeah.
It's the same thing with, like, when it was, like, underage drinking or whatever. Like, if you went into a liquor store with, you know, your hands all, like, clammy and you were shaking and your eyes are all shifting from one side to the other, you would definitely be looking like, okay, that guy's probably a little too nervous to be buying this booze. I'm going to ask for his ID. But if you go in there, like, totally nonchalant and just, like, slam the money on the counter and go, give me give me this. They're going to go, okay, here, have a good one.
Right.
Like, I've done plenty of those things where, like you said, the more confidence you have, the more people are just going to let you do whatever you want. But, yeah.
I think that deserves a the more you know sound clip.
Okay.
Should we just sing it since... The more you know.
There you go. All right. So moving on to another story. Here's an interesting story about a child, and I have a feeling this is in the wake of the Connecticut shooting, and this is why partly the reasons why this child got his punishment the way he did. But apparently in Maryland, a first grader was suspended for pointing fingers at friends and saying "pow." So he basically turned his hand into a makeshift gun, like obviously most kids do, and every person that's been alive probably in the age of guns.
Man.
Basically just started, pretending that he was shooting people.
Yeah, he's playing.
Like most kids do.
Doing what kids do around the world.
And this student, Roscoe Nix, was in an elementary school in Silver Spring, Maryland, where he, apparently got suspended for 3 days because he was pretending to shoot his students.
Wow.
And yeah, my feeling is obviously this is a little harsh, and I'm assuming that if the tragedy in Connecticut wasn't so recent, this would have this wouldn't even be a news story.
Yeah.
But it is so interesting that after things like that, huge tragedies and whatever, people always get on this huge, like, other extreme where now, like, since we haven't or we weren't prepared to prevent a tragedy, now we have to be like double sensitive or triple sensitive to make sure that it doesn't happen again or something.
So illogical. When I was a child, me and my friends were way into guns.
Of course, but what kid wasn't? Cops and robbers or cowboys and Indians? I mean,
okay, here's the progression of me and my friends, like, gun toys. First, okay, we lived next to a big field with, like, hills and stuff. It was naturey. It was an enter at your own risk kind of field because it wasn't procured by the city. Anyways, we started off with fights. Like, these were our fights, our battles. We threw rocks at each other. Literally, I kid you not. We wore hockey helmets.
Simpler times.
Right? We wore hockey helmets and threw rocks at each other. And if you got hit, you were dead. Right?
Literally.
And that, yeah. That progressed into, like, we got into paintball, we got into airsoft, and eventually in that same field when we were, like, a little bit older, we were shooting airsoft guns. We all had our own airsoft guns, like high-powered ones. I remember saving up for like half a year to buy mine. It cost like $200, and I was like 14, so I was like, sweet, this thing's awesome. Anyways, we would have airsoft fights, and like kids from around the neighborhood would meet up there at 3:00 Fridays, kind of thing. And I remember there was this one lady whose house backed up to the field, and she was not having it. She didn't have any kids back there, but she was like, "You guys are playing with guns. That is not okay." And we were like kids. Anyways, like, this lady would come out and yell at us all the time. We would just ignore her. So she eventually called the cops on us. We're a bunch of 12, 13, 14-year-olds playing with airsoft guns, like having these crazy epic battles in this field.
Yeah.
And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And ironically, the cops showed up. There was actually 2 cops showed up. I guess the word was there's kids playing with guns in a field, so a couple cops might show up for that. Yeah. And
that's interesting because, like, a lot of the times, I guarantee you the cops that show up, they're showing up just because they have to.
Yeah.
They're not...
Sorry to interrupt. The cop came on. He walked onto the field. We weren't stupid kids, so we saw the cop. We stopped. We walked up to him. We're like, "Hi, Mr. Cop." He's like, got a phone call. He took one of the guns and he shot it, and like the thing like went way farther and straighter than he thought it would. He was like, not bad. He's like, have fun.
He's complimenting on your equipment.
Well, what he said was like, he's like impressive or something. He's like, just don't shoot the houses. And we're like, cool. And they turned around.
Yeah, I don't give a damn.
Anyways, they turned around and left.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, those cops probably, that wasn't the first phone call that they got from that woman.
You're probably right. It's probably like the 40th.
Yeah, they're definitely like, oh, it's her.
Yeah.
I guess we'll just go over there and appease them, and then we'll just figure it out a little later on why that girl or that lady is a huge cunt.
And you know why she was probably watching from her window.
Of course she was. And that's the thing. Like, every neighborhood has that person that all they do is watch the neighborhood and make sure that no shenanigans are going on. It's like it's not like a neighborhood watch type of thing. Yeah. It's just them being in everybody's business.
Control freak.
Yeah, and they have nothing to do. They're retired or they're like, some old woman on a fixed income. She has nothing to do.
That's exactly what this news story is, Is that, that kid who was playing, saying "pow," in his school, is he going to grow up to do some intense mass murder? not likely.
Yeah.
But, like there has to be one, well, I guess there's more than one person now because of the currency or how frequent, I'm sorry, take two, how close to home it hits with people with the shooting in Connecticut. You get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I get it.
You should open your mouth a little wider when you speak.
Okay.
But I understand. That's what we were talking about earlier, is that everybody feels like, in order to, and it's almost like they're doing these types of steps to almost show like, hey, I'm sensitive to that, whatever happened in the media or the, most recent tragedy. And I can't just tell you that I'm, very concerned or very emotional. No, I have to show you by actually doing some sort of action. Like, I can't just sit here and tell people that I'm sad and upset about it. No, I have to like do something. And you're like, well, the action that you're taking, is that really the action you should be taking? Or is it just kind of counterintuitive and not really doing much?
It's just, fear is
That's what it is.
Fear is a very strong motivator, and it happens to humans very easily.
Well, yeah.
Including myself.
I mean, everybody's definitely reacted to, obviously certain things that are affecting them or certain things that do in fact scare them or they're frightened of. But you have to look at also who's creating that fear, and is that fear a justifiable fear? Is it a fear that needs to be there, or is it just, clouding a bigger situation?
Or is it just a product of your own imagination?
It's very true. Like, where it's just, again, like we were talking about, it's almost like people need something to do or to fear or to, whatever, fill in the blank, so they can live their life still, because they don't have, enough things going on successful wise or, positive wise that can lead their lives into, prosperous areas. You have to now have other things that lead your life into, I don't know if it's even prosperous, because who wants to live in a town like that doesn't have any kids playing around or doesn't have like any, like, things going on? Like, would you, like, if that lady that called up the cops on you, if she got her way and got like all those kids to never play around anymore, like, would she feel like accomplished, or would she feel like, good, now I can have that field be empty and the way I like it?
Yeah.
No, like, the next thing that there's always going to be something that they're going to be bitching about. If it's not the kids playing in the field, it's going to be the lights don't turn off quick enough in my neighborhood or something. There's always something to bitch about or to complain about, because it's easier to do those things than to just really live your life and move on, or just not have those problems. I mean, it's not just her. Everybody does this. And on that note, let's move to another story of late. All right, so as the new year is turning, obviously, into 2013, there were some things in 2012 that are, I guess, of comedic interest. There's the fads of 2012 that celebrities started, which I kind of wanted to bring up, and maybe you were a little envious in wanting to do these things, or maybe you would think, why are these people doing this? So let's get it on. The first celebrity that started an interesting fad in 2012 was Simon Cowell. He apparently started carrying pocket-sized inhalable oxygen shots. So it's like straight up like oxygen in a can from like Spaceballs, where he just has, apparently the oxygen that he breathes in the normal world is not good enough for him. So now he has decided to use, I guess, artificially made oxygen and put into a can to help his lungs out.
Or is it like a little to-go pack from those oxygen bars?
Yeah, it's basically that, where like if anytime you need a little quick oxygen boost, you could just pull it out and huff it.
Does he get anything out of it?
I guess he gets air, or gets more.
Man, sometimes I just need a quick, fresh breath of air.
Yeah, I can understand if, American Idol was, right next to a dump or some sort of, it was, filmed in a sulfur factory. I get it that like you might need some clean air in your system.
Or maybe he just needs that feeling of intake.
Yeah, I think it's just a lot of these fads are obviously because these people have a lot of expendable income.
Yeah.
And you and me, who doesn't know where their next meal is coming from, obviously can't fathom buying air in a can. But to a celebrity that's not necessarily looking or worried about his next paycheck or where his next meal is coming from, of course, like they wouldn't mind buying some oxygen cans. Mm-hmm. But I just obviously think it's stupid and
that
ludicrous.
Sounds like you're gonna pop a lung doing that, right?
It would be.
Does it just like pump you with air like a bike tire?
Wouldn't it be funny if he in fact later found out that air gave him cancer?
Oh gosh.
So he thought he was actually breathing better air, but in fact it was actually worse air.
Yeah, his body wasn't immune to it.
Yeah. And that would have been hilarious because I'm not a huge Simon Cowell fan. I mean, he basically turned a karaoke competition into a TV show and became this huge person of celebrity. And you're like, it's a fucking karaoke show. Like, why is it so popular? Or what did he do besides just putting it on the air? Like he did
it at the right time.
He didn't. Yeah, that's the thing.
That's a lot of people who see success that, it's just timing. And actually, I read this book by Malcolm Gladwell called Outliers, and that's basically what the book is about.
Yeah.
There's no earth-shattering news or information in this book. Malcolm Gladwell is a very cool writer. He's easy to understand.
He's written a bunch
to follow
of books.
along. Yeah. Anyways, basically the entire book takes the lives of successful people, Bill Gates, some athletes.
Right.
People who have made a substantial amount of money in their life. And he basically looks at what happened in their lifetime that allowed them to get to that success. And basically every case, every person is like, man, this was just a big series of events that just happened to happen to that person, which allowed him to keep having this specific opportunity.
Yeah, right. I get what you're
Bill
saying.
Gates. If Bill Gates didn't have the opportunity to use a computer at where he where he went to school, or didn't happen to have this or know this certain person who got him in with that certain person, he would have never made as much money as he did or been as successful. But it's just this series of events that kept flowing him toward being successful.
Right. It wasn't just natural occurrences. It was actually some sort of I don't want to call it destiny, but it was some sort of it was a system of elements set in place, and if he were to correctly go through all of those elements, he would have this huge success at the end.
Yeah, and what's also funny is that the younger the person gets, the bigger impact those decisions have. So if you look at when he was a kid, what he decided to do, if he didn't decide to do this one little thing, it would have changed his course of life forever.
Sure. Do you ever get into those situations where you think about the path not taken and wonder if if you could do it over, you would do it differently?
Oh gosh. Well, I feel like I'm kind of in that situation right now, living out in the Dallas area of Texas. I'm done with my master's degree out there. I'm basically hanging around there because I've made some friends and I have some really very legitimate musical opportunity out there that I wouldn't have if I moved back to Southern California, where all my family is, and where a lot of my friends are. So ask me that again in about 10-15 years.
Yeah, it is interesting. I mean, I don't necessarily have, a lot of regretful moments. I don't really feel like, if I don't have that one moment where it's like, if I just didn't go to school, if I just went to a different school, it would have been completely different. Or if I just didn't get, if I didn't do that one thing, I'd have a completely different life. Like, I think, no matter what I would have done in between when I was born up till now, I think I'd pretty much still be here and now. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess,
although that's something we might never know. You
will never know. And obviously it's one of those questions that doesn't have an answer.
Yeah.
But, maybe I do think sometimes maybe if I did buy a couple more lottery tickets, who would have, who would know?
Actually, funny story. So last week on Christmas Day, my dad and I went to the Laker game. Mm-hmm. It was who the heck were they playing? It was a Laker game. And every Laker game, they do some kind of giveaway where they choose seats throughout this arena at random. And if you have that ticket stub, you win. And they were giving away some $1,000 pair of Kobe Bryant shoes,
Damn.
And 20 people in the audience got them. I don't know. Yeah. So anyways, turns out my dad and I were sitting up in the, the nosebleed section, the seats we could afford. Mm-hmm, and some guy 2 seats down from my dad won. He was chosen. And it was just funny because my dad bought those tickets a long time ago. He could have very easily chosen those seats because that section there was a lot of openings at the time. Mm-hmm. And he could have won some Kobe shoes.
Yeah. Have you ever won anything, significant, or what's the biggest thing you've won?
Well, I won tickets from a radio show to see Trombone Shorty in Dallas. That was pretty cool. And the ironic thing is I had already bought a ticket for myself. If you don't know who Trombone Shorty is, he's like a living future
awesome.
Legend trombone jazz player. But it's not just jazz. His group plays a mix of rock and soul and jazz and hip hop.
Yeah, he definitely knows how to blow that horn.
That's for sure. So I was planning to go by myself because there was no way I was going to miss them. And if I found someone with tickets, I'll just hook up with them. But, I definitely wanted to go. I knew it was going to sell out. Bought my own ticket.
Right.
Then I was listening to K-Jazz, which ironically is also 88.1 in Dallas. It's not called K-Jazz though.
Yeah, but it's a jazz station in Dallas.
And I won. I called in at the right time. I won 2 tickets for that same night to see Trombone Shorty, and I took 2 friends.
Nice. I remember once winning a pair of tickets to go see Lollapalooza over here. And I must have been in high school or something. And I ended up having to take my sister because my parents at the time didn't want me to go by myself or go, without some sort of supervision.
Hence the sister.
Yeah, so they thought well, if you go with your sister, then you probably won't do as many things as you would do without your sister being there.
Right.
And
won't get into as much trouble.
Yeah, and the headliners were Metallica and Soundgarden.
Nice.
And that tells you how long ago that was.
Yeah.
People are like, who the hell is Soundgarden?
Right. Even I had to think about that one.
But it was a very cool thing. But it's almost funny that I always have that pessimistic attitude that the times I have won things, I always think well, now I'm never gonna win anything. That was my one time, and I won tickets, and yeah, it's awesome, but good luck having karma hit you twice.
Right.
That was basically your moment in the shine of getting to win something.
Yeah. Man, you never know with that kind of stuff.
It is true, but I'm not the type of person to really enter a lot of contests. Obviously there's a shitload of, Publishers Clearinghouse and obviously lottery, and there's a million things that you can fill out online to possibly win. And I just always am skeptical or cynical to think they're just trying to get your information so they can start sending you junk mail or whatever.
Yeah, that's pretty much
I'm never going to win it. I'm just now giving them my information. Why would I want to do that?
Yeah, that's why I don't any of that social media stuff, like just like this thing and you'll be entered to win.
Right.
I'd never do any of that kind of thing.
Because have you ever heard of anybody who's entered a contest at a mall or whatever and actually won the car or won whatever they entered? No.
All the Griswolds won new cars on Vegas Vacation. So it can
I retract my statement.
All right.
But moving on to other fads that celebrities have started.
Oh yeah, that's what we were talking about.
Another celebrity of Mad Men fame, January Jones. She plays Betty Draper, if you watch that show.
I do not, but just the name sounds hot.
Yeah, she's a fine piece of ace. She has had recently a baby, which is not that uncommon.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently what is uncommon is that she started taking placenta pills from her own birth that she just had.
Believing it to do what?
Apparently, now this isn't necessarily a new fad, but a lot of cultures or a lot of people, specifically women, have had some sort of notion thinking that if they eat or ingest some of the placenta, they're getting, all of those vital nutrients back, and they're getting, obviously putting it into the baby through the breast milk. So it's supposed to sort of like rejuvenate yourself and give you all this long-lasting longevity or healthy life and all this stuff. And so it's supposed to give you all of these, medical benefits, but it is still eating the afterbirth, which is a little odd.
They should just go ahead and fry it up.
That's what Yoko Ono did. Yeah, she freezed it and then ate it or cooked it up.
Placenta burger.
Ugh.
You can find those online.
But apparently, the January Jones did the next best thing where instead of cooking it up, she had it ground up and kind of made into this gel cap form.
Encapsulated.
Yeah,
Nice.
and then just started taking the pills.
Well, I guess that's one way to do it.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm not saying that they obviously can't do it. I'm just saying I wouldn't do it.
I would not either. Because, I don't know. I've grown up in a family of doctors and nurses.
Yes.
Pretty much everyone in my direct family is a medical person of some sort. And, they say, my sister, who is a very accomplished doctor, has told me herself, none of those vitamins really do anything because if your body isn't already making it, then there's something wrong. There's something wrong with you if your body isn't making the vitamins it needs or getting it from other sources, i.e. food. So it, while it seems like it could be beneficial to take placenta pills, your body already has what it needs.
Yeah, and according to Catherine Collins, who is a nutritionist at St. George's Hospital in London, she said, nutritionally, there's nothing to be gained from eating your placenta, raw, cooked, or dried. Apart from iron, which can be easily found in other dietary choices or supplements, your placenta will provide toxins and other unsavory substances it had successfully prevented from reaching your baby into utero.
Yikes.
So it's actually
So she's
worse.
Poisoning herself with
Yes.
her own...
Yes. So according to a doctor, this isn't that best choice to do, but that's what I want to know is who put the idea in January Jones's head that this was a good idea?
one of her girlfriends.
Yeah, was it a doctor?
No.
It was some other dumb idiot.
Maybe it was one of the doctors from the show.
Yeah. Right? It was probably Jenny McCarthy.
Oh, gosh. I'm glad you brought her up because we were talking about her earlier.
Mm-hmm.
She recently wrote a book.
Yes.
About, I really wish I could remember what it's called, but she's publicizing it everywhere. If you didn't see her on the New Year's shows.
Yeah, she's been making the rounds for sure.
Yeah, she's on the late night shows, all, pushing her new book. And man, she is just coming off on TV as the dumbest of dumb blondes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently she's saying that you can cure autism through not giving your children or baby immunization shots. So apparently she hates the fact that you immunize your baby. Apparently she thinks that the shots themselves breed autism.
Now, is there any scientific backing to that, or is
No.
it just what she says?
She apparently thinks that she's a doctor because she didn't give her autistic child immunization shots, and apparently he was cured of autism.
Wait, so he had autism and now no longer has autism?
Because she prevented him from getting immunization shots.
There has to be more to that story.
Right. I don't think he was cured. I think he's just a high-functioning autistic kid.
Right.
Which is fine. Like, I don't mind. Like, obviously, I get where she's coming from where, you obviously want to try to lessen the amount of special needs children being born, which is fine. But is there enough research done from actual doctors, not just, past Playboy models, that have enough information saying that immunizations don't work? Because as far as I know, everybody I know was immunized when they were a baby, and obviously they're still around or healthy and things like that. But I don't know that many autistic kids to know, were they immunized and now got better, or were they immunized and now they're still just as autistic as they were before?
I feel like we need a professional for this question.
Yeah.
Although that brings it back down to the very basic idea that we're not robots.
Mm-mm.
We're human beings. We're flesh, blood, cells that do things.
Yeah.
They're having a baby is a risk.
Yes.
Like, there's a risk that your baby might have some kind of deformity or disease or illness or something. And to me, that just seems like the risk you take when you have a baby.
Yeah, it's like any decision that you make, especially long term, is there's going to be pros and cons.
Mm-hmm.
And you obviously try to weigh out those pros and cons before you make the decision. But even if you do make a calculated guess or some sort of hypothesis on the likelihood of the things you don't want happening to happen, even if you do make those contingencies or educational guesses, there's still those chances that it's not going to come out the way you wanted it still.
I had a teacher in college when I did my undergrad at CSULB.
Right.
It was for a psychology course.
Mm-hmm.
And this teacher always used to tell the story of talking about the same kind of thing. When he was younger, he does come from a family with history in heart disease, heart attack, and he didn't want that to happen to him.
Right.
So his entire young adult life, he spent being in the best shape he possibly could.
Right.
And into his 40s, he was in fantastic shape, worked out, cardiovascular, weight training, all that kind of thing. Sure enough, when he was 46, heart attack in the hospital. Like,
there you go.
A serious heart attack. Like, he almost died. And he was in fantastic shape. If you had to pick him out of a crowd, that guy's going to have a heart attack. You would never pick this dude. And he's funny, like, after that, he actually he started eating worse, and he's been fine since. But that's just, there's always exceptions to the rule, Just living is a risk.
It is. It's just like, everybody knows those people that, they do everything that society says you need to do in order to live a healthy life, and they still kick off at 21.
Yeah, and there's the kicker. Society tells you what to do.
Right? But then there's also those, those diamonds in the rough that no matter what they do, they're just biologically, predisposed to have just a crazy immune system. I mean, look at what's his face, Keith Richards.
Mm-hmm.
He obviously has done every single drug under the sun, probably things that aren't even considered drugs.
Yep.
He's done, and he's still alive and kicking it.
Right.
When if
Not
anybody else
it,
did
He's like kicking ass.
Right. He's almost gotten stronger and healthier.
The drugs give him power.
Yeah. So, like, that's the thing. If one of us did 1/10 of what he did, we would have died long ago.
Yeah.
But there's always those anomalies.
And we all have that friend who can eat anything and not gain an ounce of weight. I was just at a wedding with a very good friend of mine who I don't get to see very often.
Right.
And this dude eats like a horse. Like, well, maybe the better analogy is like a pig. He while we all had our like one plate, like little bit of chicken and steak and salad and that kind of thing, this dude had like an entire plate of mashed potatoes, an entire plate of like steak and bread.
A big fat person,
right? And the guy is like skinny. He's in great shape.
My brother's that way.
Freaking screw those people.
And that's the thing is that, like, nobody can determine what hand they were dealt from nature. Nobody can decide, like, we haven't yet been able to, harness the genome where we can just now start making babies that only have high metabolisms out there.
Not yet, at least.
At least not yet. And that's the thing is, like, I don't understand how we label this huge, like, blanket statement of everybody should eat like this, even though biologically nobody is the same. Like, so why should we all be like living the same mantra when we know internally we don't all have to live that same mantra? Like, I understand, like, the two things that I don't mind hearing about everybody is just eat right and exercise. Like, nobody's going to not benefit from that.
Mm-hmm.
But obviously there's different levels of what people should be doing.
And that same friend who eats like a pig that I was just talking about?
Right.
The dude's a couch potato video gamer.
There you go.
I get more exercise in a day than he does in a month.
Right. And just he got a really cool hand dealt to him that life told him.
Alex, if you're listening, I love you, man. Please don't take that the wrong way.
I'm sure he's laughing, going, yep, everybody should be like me.
That's exactly what he's saying. He's like, you guys, why don't you just be like me? And then problem's over.
I love scotch. I love scotch. Scotchy, scotch, scotch. Here it goes down into my belly.
But yeah, everybody knows that person that has to obviously watch what they do and are normal people. And then there's always those people that you just secretly envy and go, why didn't I get that hand?
This conversation has made me hungry for a placenta burger. Just kidding.
So moving on to other fads, I'm going to get into a couple of clothing or curious cosmetic trends. That,
I should have fun with this one.
Yeah. Apparently, there's a few beauty trends going around in 2012, and I didn't really notice it that much, but I guess now that they showed me a few pictures, I guess it's a little bit more apparent. But did you know that in 2012 it was suddenly hip to start dyeing your hair gray?
Yes, that's actually very big and popular in the Dallas
that's
DFW,
weird.
And it looks terrible.
Yeah,
it looks horrible. And okay, my day job is on the UNT campus. I see a lot of younger kids, just out of high school. They want to look good. They want to stick out. But Jesus Christ, it looks awful.
Yeah, apparently Kelly Osbourne has done this. Daphne Guinness has done this. And a few other. They always seem to be people that are way into the fashion world or they're like, obviously got ties to fashion, and I don't understand it. I don't understand why you want to look old.
You got me, dude. I
can understand if you want to get into a bar, and you're 19
and you look like you're 78. And it's not just gray. It's like gray with purple or green streaks. I just don't understand this whole green or gray trend, and I hope it stops.
Yeah. It's so weird that it's almost like a lot of trends are just simply someone has thought no one's done this, even though it's stupid, and there's a reason why nobody's done this. I'm going to now do it and start a trend.
Yeah.
Like, is that all like you want to do is just start something? Like, why don't you start something that matters instead of some stupid fashion trend?
You know, people, especially young people, are always looking for ways to stick out, you know, be cooler than the next guy, have everyone look at you and be impressed. And, you know, young people who are listening to this are probably like, man, get this old fart off the radio. But seriously, I mean, I can think of ways I did it when I was in high school or when I was in my undergrad. And it's just like, man, and, you know, there's no argument when someone young says, well, this is an expression of who I am.
Right.
That's a load of crap. An expression of who you are is like if you decide to volunteer your time to help people that have gone through a loss, or if you decide to volunteer time at the local food shelter or something, you know, something where you're doing a good act. And I don't mean just like, I'm not getting all preachy on you, like you got to do it for God, got to do it for this or that.
Right.
But to me, what you wear is by no means an expression of who you are as a person. It's just what you're wearing.
Yeah, and not only that, but you're wearing it for the sole fact that nobody else is wearing it.
Yeah.
Not because it actually is comfortable or worth wearing or actually like is made from a company that actually, you know, is some sort of nonprofit or whatever.
Yeah,
or some sort of, you know, eco-friendly company. No, it's like you're wearing ski boots to the mall because nobody's wearing ski boots.
You're the only one doing it.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't think that's suddenly cool. I think you're a retard for wearing ski boots.
I saw a kid at UNT wearing a V-neck down to his belly button.
Very googly moogly.
Yeah, for sure. And
he thought he was hot, or he was
definitely
like rocking
you know,
it?
he was in good shape. He was probably like 18 or 19.
Right.
He was like, man, I am the shit right now. And I said something to him. I was like, really?
Was his chest hairless?
Yeah, he was
Of
like,
course.
I don't know if he doesn't get chest hair yet or if he like shaves every day. Either way. And I wish I could remember what I said, but I think I asked him, do you legitimately think that looks good?
Dude, are you gay?
Do you legitimately think that looks good?
No shit. And I don't understand it, like, because, I mean, prove me wrong. If that guy has, like, 8 girls going up to him, giving him their numbers, by all means, wear that shirt till the day it, like, turns out.
Yeah.
But if you are just doing it for you.
For the attention.
Yeah. That's when you're like, okay, I don't get it. I mean, maybe it's just me because I'm not that type of person
Same
to be
here.
wanting to, like,
Have that attention.
Yeah, I don't need to be the center of attention.
Yeah.
I mean, I do obviously like attention, i.e. doing a radio show.
I like attention when it's for something I've accomplished or worked towards.
Yeah, not just because you decided to wear that thing
Yeah.
and now suddenly you should get everybody to look at you because you're wearing a pair of ski boots and a V-neck sweater that goes down to your navel.
Yeah, gosh. And then, you know, there's probably an argument saying, well, I just think it's funny. But, you know, well, funny to who? To
Now,
just you.
that's the
Nobody
thing.
else finds that funny.
If they're doing it for some sort of irony's sake, like I'm wearing it so hopefully people do start to think this is stupid, then I get it. But if you're I don't know. I'm so if you can tell from the live stream feed, I mean, I'm wearing a flannel shirt.
Yeah.
And flannel's been around for hundreds of years.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
my whole fashion sense is like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Like, jeans are never going out of style.
Yeah.
Flannels, probably not. Maybe they'll get into more style once they get, like, you know, a 90s revolution going on.
Yeah. Well, there was a little hiccup of flannel recently with the whole folkster movement.
Right.
That's my
right.
coin term, by
Hipster.
the way. Folkster, gypster.
You're a folkster.
Bumster is another one I came up with.
I like that, bumster.
Yeah, it's funny. Eric and I like to use the stirs wherever we can. So if we're leaving and, you know, people are chilling out on the couch, I'll be like, later homesters, you know, just the people at home stirring. Anyways, I actually remember a instance back in high school. I was back in high school, and me and some friends were hanging out. It was back in 2002 when George Bush declared war on terror and used that as an excuse to invade a bunch of Middle Eastern countries. The whole pink shirt thing started going around. I don't know if you saw this, but at Huntington Beach High School and the surrounding high schools, Fountain Valley High School, Newport Beach High School, in that area of Orange County, everybody was wearing pink shirts that say like "No war in Iraq" or "No war on terror," something. It was a bright pink shirt.
Damn, that's a cold ass honky.
I was wondering when you were gonna use that one. And me and my friends were talking like, man, I bet a lot of these dudes wearing it are just wearing it because like all of a sudden it's cool and chicks think it's cool. I bet half these kids don't even know what the war is about or what's going on with it, have no affiliation. And we actually started asking people, like around, like, hey, how do you really feel about the war? And they're like, oh, I don't know. I just like the pink shirt. I kid you not. People would just say it. I mean, granted, these people were high schoolers. I have another similar story if you let me keep ranting about this.
Go for it.
All right. So, one job I had when I was, while living in Texas, I was a cashier. And, coming from Orange County, I'm a pretty vivid Angels fan. I grew up an Angels fan. I was pretty much going to Angels games in the womb. Right. So moving to Dallas, I'm in like Ranger country. I can't wear my Angels hat without feeling like someone's going to shoot me.
Which out of all the other teams to go to besides the Angels, the Texas Rangers are like the sworn enemy of the Angels.
Especially now that we got C.J. Wilson, Josh Hamilton. Gosh, one of my...
Because they're in the same division as us. So, like, they're basically the only team that's standing in our way of winning a division.
So, it was around when the season got started. I was asking people wearing, after, I'm a baseball fan. I keep track of baseball. Even the Rangers, I keep track of what's happening. Hells yeah. So everybody who came through my lane wearing Rangers gear, I'd ask them, hey, you know who won last night? Who won the Rangers game last night?
Right.
I forget how many people I asked that day. Somewhere around 20. Guess how many people got the answer right? Did the Rangers win last night?
2.
Close. 1.
1 out of 20.
One person got it right. And it was funny because a lot of the people I asked were like, yeah, man, the Rangers killed them. The Rangers killed their butts. Butts. Like, and
hello.
Some people were like, yeah, they won, or I'm not sure. I think they won. Not very many people. I think. Oh, I remember. I don't have the total statistics with me. I wrote it down. One person said, no, they lost. The score was 8-3, and he was right. One other person said, I don't know. One person out of 20 admitted they did. Well, I guess out of 19 admitted that he didn't know. But there's the argument like, oh, well, you don't need to be a Rangers fanatic just to be a Rangers fan. Like, you can be a fan and not be a fanatic, and that's fine. That's totally cool. But the interesting thing about this little experiment I did, the one person who knew the score from the previous night was indeed a baseball fanatic. And he knew not only did he know the Rangers lost and the score, he knew the score to every other game in Major League Baseball from the previous night. And ironically, me and that dude like kind of hit it off. We were like, oh, cool. Like, did you hear about this? Well,
Was he wearing a pink shirt?
No, he was wearing a Rangers hat. Yeah. Anyways,
awesome.
That just, that was just a very interesting experiment that I did.
That's awesome. I understand, like, not everybody. It'd be interesting to do that study also, like, closer to the like playoffs versus like at the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact, like, when the baseball season finally gets to the close of it, that's when everybody becomes suddenly a fan of baseball. Like, nobody watches the actual season unless it's, people that are obviously fans. Mm-hmm. But everybody becomes a fan as soon as playoffs hit, especially if their team that they're living next to is in the playoffs. Yeah. Obviously, they're traditionally called bandwagoners. And God, I always find it funny that there's the most bandwagoning on baseball, like just baseball. Like nobody really bandwagons as much. I mean, I guess we saw it a little bit with the Kings winning last, 2 years ago with the Stanley Cup and whatever.
I saw some Kings hats in Dallas.
Mm-hmm. But it's always interesting because baseball is the biggest where nobody gives a shit until suddenly it's coming down to the last game or two. Mm. And I don't understand it because I personally like to see the building up to it. Like actually watching how they got there. Not that they got there and let's just watch them win.
The Angels season is like crack for me, dude. Yeah. I watch as many games as I can. It's like my reality TV, except it's really real. It's
of course, fully, man.
It's really happening with real live people without a script.
And it's going to be awesome, too. Speaking of Angels, this year is going to be a great season, I hope.
Yeah, should be cool. Speaking of bandwagoners, though, my whole thing with asking people about the Rangers game, I'm sure that would happen in any city with any team, even my beloved Angels, just because that's how it is. But I just find it interesting. Period.
So moving on to other fads that celebrities have suddenly tried to create or make happen. Have you heard of a caviar manicure set?
I have not.
People are now using fish eggs to actually dye their nails. So not only are they using, polish and whatever, but they're actually using real live fish eggs to put on their nails to make some sort of bead effect, and then they put a layer of clear polish over it, so they actually have some sort of texture on their nails. Huh. I haven't obviously seen any women do this. Apparently there's a few women out there, celebrity-wise, that have. None that I can tell.
It's funny because nails, if there's any women listening, nails are one of those things that most guys just don't notice. And, I notice my girlfriend's nails because,
Because she gives you a lot of hand jobs?
Oh, gosh. She's my girlfriend, and I want to make her feel special. Right. But if, I don't take time to look at other girls' nails, that's a total, for your own sake thing.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Have you ever gotten a manicure or a pedicure?
Tina wants me to get a pedicure.
I will admit, being a straight male, I was hesitant in getting one, but I did get one because my dad actually told me that you should get one. He just, we were talking about...
Did you go get one with your dad?
Yep, it was a boys' day out. We're getting mani-pedis. Yep. See you girls later. Yeah. But no. He told me one day that he gets them, and he gets them every other week.
Oh wow.
And he has the same girl that he goes to, and nice. Has totally just everything that you would think of chick wise, where he gets his hair done, he has his nails done, he has his feet pampered and everything. He's a total woman. And I gave him a lot of shit for it, but once I got finally, and I did it because I went with my girlfriend at the time, and she got one, and I was like, well, I could either just sit here and wait for her to get hers done, or I could do one myself. And I will admit, it did feel pretty sweet.
Cool.
You do have obviously, I didn't get any polish or anything. Uh-huh. But it's nice. It's nice to feel your hand getting massaged and all buffed, and your nails definitely look better. Mm-hmm. And obviously your feet do look better. Mm-hmm. But it's obviously has that stigma, and I don't know, I'm not gonna try to do it all the time. I don't need to have it done as much as my dad, but if someone gave me a gift certificate, I would use it for sure.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
But moving on to other fads, I guess. there's another fad, specifically in China, where apparently they're wearing these things called face kinis, which is basically a mask that you like a ski mask, like a burglar's ski mask. I'll show it up on live stream. And basically it's because in China, the paler your skin is, the more wealthier you are. Or the more, obviously it comes from if you're working in the fields, you're going to have a tan. If you're not working in the fields and you have a real job or a desk job, you're going to not have a tan.
Now it's the total opposite.
Yeah.
Now it's if you're rich, you got to have that
well, of course, but
spray on tan.
It's got to be not natural.
Yeah, and it also looks terrible. Here's something funny. Coming from a beach town, I see, I've always been around people with tans because, people go to the beach or they surf or, they go lay out in the sun on the beach, anything where, tans are naturally occurring. And there's a lot of people out in Texas who just go get those spray-on tans.
Right.
And
the Mystic tan.
I'm not sure if no one else notices, but I notice it from 10 miles away.
Sure.
It just looks so bad. It's like, man, is something wrong with your skin? What kind of disease do you have?
I remember my sister getting it done once, and it didn't take, or she got the wrong color, or something didn't work right. There was definitely a misstep somewhere.
Oh, gosh.
And she straight up looked orange.
Nice.
Like orange, like the color of that cup.
Oh my goodness.
And it was so terrible because obviously with the spray tan, once it's on, it ain't coming off for a while.
Yeah.
And she totally became a Muslim for the next week and a half, where she just didn't want to have anything showing on her body. She just covered up full head to toe, and we used to give her so much shit about. And what's weird is that it didn't deter her from not getting it again. She went 3 weeks later and still got another spray on tan.
The same thing.
I guess
Same
obviously
color?
she changed it up.
So it came out better.
It came obviously out better.
In quotations, better.
Yeah. I guess to some it might be better. I didn't think she was all that white to begin with.
Yeah.
And it was just funny because it's so odd that, who are you doing it for?
Right.
Are people dressing this way to impress others, or is it because they want to do it for themselves?
Both. It's to impress and to mask insecurity.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm no doctor, but
You're
think
not?
yeah. By the way, Smitty, or by the way, D, I'm not a doctor. So if you thought you had someone coming in, medical PhD, you got the wrong guy. But I know for myself when I'm masking an insecurity, I know what I'm doing to try to mask that insecurity, and it's not that hard to see it in other people if you pay attention.
I agree. Well, on that note, I look at the time and we are just getting out of it. So, we're actually 10 minutes over. So, we should just end it there. I know you guys are all wondering why, but we got to give you a taste of what is to come next week. So, stay tuned for a whole lot more. We're going to hopefully, I think, I'm looking at the schedule, and we're going to be probably moving our live show to a new date and time. It is yet to be announced, but it'll be at either 2 to 4 on Mondays or 2 to 4 on Fridays. So stay tuned on our Twitter feed and our Facebook page if you guys want to keep up to date on when we do these things live. Definitely do so. It's obviously Smitty and D Show at the appropriate websites. And
a quick shameless plug from me.
Go for it.
I know today I'm not here plugging any music, but
you can plug it.
I'm here, might as well. Holophonic Records. It's the record production company bringing you groups like the Boombox, which you heard earlier, the Holophonics, which I was here promoting 2 weeks ago.
Yes.
And also the Eric Dano Ensemble, which I was here promoting a few years ago.
But all of those things are definitely on that album label.
Holophonic Records. Google it, you'll find it.
Mm-hmm. And definitely check it out because, I mean, like we said earlier, we're not just saying it because we're a part of those bands, but they are very good bands. I mean,
thanks, D.
If you like music, and hopefully most of you do, I think you'll like them. But until then, we're going to end the show like we normally end, and that's with a little Stevie Ray, and we decide to figure out what did we learn today.
All right, I know what I learned today. Let's do it.
I have a few things that I've learned today, and when I say a few, I mean 3. The first thing I learned today was Playboy bunnies are not doctors. What did you learn today?
One of the things I learned is to never go head-to-head in a Twitter game match with Smitty, because you will get your ass beaten down.
It's so funny because he doesn't normally win.
Oh, really?
Just with you.
Yeah. Man, if I had a nickel for every time I've heard that.
You'd probably have at least 15 cents.
Yeah, something like that.
I also learned today that if you have a piece of paper, you can get anything you want.
Yes. Very true. Just look like you know what you're doing.
Yep. As long as you got confidence. That's what people want.
Confidence.
Mm-hmm. Did you learn anything else today?
I forget.
All right. The last thing I learned today was that, of course, 0 is not an offer for a couch.
Unless you want $0.
Yeah, which I don't. So if any of you guys want a couch and you want to pay me a little bit of money, hit me up, because I got one. Anyway, on that note, we will leave you with what Smitty always says. And, of course, check us out on Twitter and Facebook and on the KDHR mobile app. This episode will be there on the archive, or you can go to kdhr.net and listen to it there. So if you guys don't ever catch us live, you can always go to KDHR or iTunes or basically wherever you find your podcasts and go there and just look up KDHR or look up the Smitty and D Show, and you should be able to find our latest episode there. And always remember that we're there on YouTube, doing our live stream feeds there as well. So there's a million different ways that you can check us out, and hopefully you do, and hopefully you tell a few friends, because we always like to have new listeners and things like that. And so hopefully if you guys are around next week, tune in to KDHR and listen to us, the Smitty and D Show, with more Smitty and myself. Unfortunately, I don't think Shane will be there.
Nope, I go back to Dallas next week.
Oh, well. But until then, definitely be good. Be nice. Kick it, flip it, and do it twice. Do it twice. Yes. Shout out, guys.
That was awesome.
Adieu, adieu. Parting is such sweet sorrow.
Adios, turd nuggets.
Yes! 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 Oh! 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 Oh, God. Oh.
Good night, Herr Doctor.
Good night, Frau Blucher.